Concept and definition of governance. The term governance and development also needs to be conceptualized accordingly. Although governance and development are closely correlated, as development cannot be sustained unless governance is fine and effective, thus this section intends to discuss the concept of governance and development in general rather to enter into a review of the theory of governance and development. Therefore, it is required to clarify the two concepts first, and then it is better to try to focus the light on the linkage between them. In recent times, the term governance has caught such attention of the policymakers, academicians, development practitioners, and international donor agencies. It is it has become an overworked term. Once the term governance has conceptually underdeveloped, and now it is conceptually overdeveloped. Okay. Thus, the term governance has become an interesting, puzzling area of researchers, and it is being used in multidimensional perspective, and it has too many connotations and meanings. The grammar of these slides. Oh. Okay, in comparative perspective, governance does not convey the same meaning everywhere. Same meaning everywhere. In fact, the meaning of governance depends on the culture, context, and the level of analysis. Since the early 1980s, governance has emerged as a popular vocabulary of development literature. Professor Mitra Fritzen have identified the origins of governance since after Second World War and early 1970s in assessing the development of contextual factors that have affected the development of governance debate. Whatever may be the debate on conceptual development of governance, the reality in is that worldwide development of governance rhetoric is not accomplished by convenience in thinking, definition, and practices across nations. This is this is maybe one reason as to why the concept of governance has been labeled as confusing, under, and not precise. Moreover, recent NPM school of thought provides the concept of governance as governance without government. Okay. The concept of governance is multi-faced and cross-sectional. The term governance is used in a variety of ways, suggesting a variety of meanings, and governance is not a linear, irresponsible phenomenon. It varies with time and space, culture, and context of governing. Its theoretical roots are also varied on basis of of discipline and analytical discourse, like public policy approach to governance and comparative policies approach. This public policy approach so freaking long. Where was I? The public policy approach perceive governance as an interactive process and serves to understand the material context of actors involved in processes of interaction. On the other hand, the comparative policies approach renders the analysis of governance more contextually embedded. If you simply mean governance as policy and process of governing, it is as old as human civilization. In fact, according to Plato, governance is integral to statecraft, and the state is the human soul right large. I think it meant at large. The famous declaration of Plato, unless philosophers rule as kings, or those who called kings are chiefs genuinely and adequately philosophize. There is no rest from ills of cities, nor I think for humankind, reminds us the notion of governance. Hmm. Makes sense. Deep thoughts. Thus, the central focus of governance is the human soul, whose ingredients manifest themselves in variety of ways, affecting the contours and contents of state activities, channelized and shaped through the medium of governance. Narin and Arora in 2010. Governance is therefore a mechanism to exercise state's power. Halfemi argued that the term governance is used first in the 14th century, and it was the two senses, first as an action or method of governing, and second manner of governing. In spite of div- divergence in conceptualization of governance, definitions were provided by many thinkers and researchers. There's more. Okay, this is the last slide of concept and definition. I hope we find the definition of governance in here. In general, governance denotes how people are ruled, how the affairs of the state are administered and regulated. Hunting defines governance by institutions and orderly rule. Hal Fahmy in 1994 have defined the governance as a system of government concentrate concentrating on effective and accountable institutions, democratic principles, and electoral process, representation, and responsible structures of government in order to ensure an open and legitimate relationship between civil society and state. Governance as the manner in which power is exercised in the management of a country's economic and social resources for development. In addition, World Bank has advanced the idea of boring shit. I'm just gonna go Google what is governance. Okay, the action of or manner of governing state or organizing, etc. Got it. The action or work for governing a state. That's governance. It would be really bad if you did not find the definition after watching the whole video, so I had to do it.